I don't ever want to be considered in a negative light. And so I try to overcompensate for that a lot of times. And then these people that are taking advantage of you are the viruses and the germs that are coming to attack you and take you out. And plus, me putting myself is going to allow myself to grow, allow myself to reach my goals, to succeed. If I win, we all win. And I can't win trying to make sure you win. Hello. Oh, I'm so awkward. Okay. Hi, I'm Michaela, and today I'm going to be talking about people pleasing. People please all the time. So I want to talk about it, get it off my chest, and I'm hoping that maybe me talking about it is going to help me overcome it. So I'm going to call it the people pleasing disease because it has hurt me in a lot of different ways, and so therefore I consider it a disease. So,
what is people pleasing?
So when I first looked it up, the first definition that I saw was a person who feels a strong urge to please others, even at their own expense. My personal definition is when you put others before yourself, when you don't take care of yourself in exchange for others and what they want. And I find myself doing that so much. It's actually horrible. It's very bad because I find myself in a lot of situations where I actually don't want to be in because I can't say no. Especially with my friends. A lot of times with my friends, they'll work on my time and I'll never be on their time. And even when I'm like not really available, if they want to come hang out with me or they want to do something, I'll say yes, even though I don't have the time or energy to. But like when I'm like, hey, let's go do this, let's do this, a lot of times they don't give me the same energy back. And when I was growing up, I used to consider it as that. I'm like, dang, like these people, they're not giving me the same energy. I used to think of it like that, like,
why aren't these people treating me the way that I want to be treated?
Because I'm treating them the way that I want to be treated. So I guess in a way, I used to not think of it as people pleasing when I used to think of it like that. I'm treating these people how I would like to be treated. And I soon came to realize that no, you can't say it. That's my main problem, is that I can't say no. Because I can't say no, I'm letting them do whatever they want with me. And then when it comes to myself, they're not putting me first. They're putting themselves first. Yes, which is not a bad thing, but I used to think it was a bad thing.
Of this people-pleasing disease,
I looked up some symptoms, I would like to say, because like I said, it's a disease. I took some symptoms because I wanted to see like how, like whether or not I actually am a people pleaser, because that was the hardest thing for me to admit. But now that I looked it up, I'm like, the shoe fits, because half of these reasonings, half of these symptoms of being a people pleaser, I do. Like, you can't say no. That is probably, like I said before, my biggest problem. I cannot say no. And I don't know when this started. When it's funny because my mom, she used to say that I was the easiest child because if she asked me to do something, I'll always do it. Versus my other siblings are more likely to ignore her or more likely to not immediately do what she asked. So she used to always ask me because she know I would do what she asked. So I want to say this is something that I've done since I was young, but I don't know if it's not always a bad thing. People know that they can rely on me. People know that if they need me to do something, that I can help them. But it's more of, it becomes bad when all the time you can't say no, and that is something I can't. It's a problem, actually. I find it's like saying no is like the hardest thing to do. But I'm working on it. I'm actually getting better. I think I said no like a couple times since. Another thing is feeling like you don't have enough you time. So like I kind of referred to before, like when people do things on your time, like whenever they're free and whenever they're available, a lot of my friends expect me to also be available and also be free. Maybe they don't expect it, but like it's like a thing like, yo,
why didn't you answer my call?
Like it is me being available on their time versus when I'm available. And so a lot of times I felt like I don't have enough time to do things, or I don't have enough time for myself, because I often am surrounded by people. People are always I used to think like, damn, like I'm super popular maybe.
I don't know.
But really, it's more of like, because I can't say no to people, I'm always wrapped around in people. I can't tell people, yo, like I need time for myself. I can't tell, like when people want to come over, I'm just like, okay, like come over, even though in that moment I don't want to talk to them. Like when people call me, sometimes I really don't want to answer, and sometimes I answer just because like I feel bad. And so I answer it, even though like I want time for myself. And that's another like way like that I put other people above me, because like I will, if they need me or if they want me, I'll be there for them. Like I'll be there when they need me, instead of giving myself the time to need myself. Another thing is a constant need for approval. Is that me? Is that me?
That's me. Oh, that's me.
I don't know how to describe that, because it's more of, with me, I like to say it's more of like I never feel good enough. And so I try to overcompensate for that a lot of times and try and like do my best to please people, because I don't ever feel like good enough, or like I should be there, or like I should be their friend, or like I should be their partner, or I should be there. For some reason, I don't know, that probably has to do with low self-esteem, probably like a lot of reasons. A lot of times I try and overcompensate for me feeling like I don't belong there. Like, and I try and work for people saying that, no, you do deserve to be there, even though I should feel that way already. Yeah. To tie in to the last symptom, is having low self-esteem. I have a good image of myself, a good like vibe of myself, but I always have like these sense of doubt that like I said, I don't belong here, I don't fit. And so I try and overcompensate for that. Another thing that I do is I will hide my true feelings. It's a bad habit, but it's something I do because I'm scared of the reactions I'm gonna get a lot of times. I will like, something can make me super upset, something can like hurt me,
Make me want to cry. Make me feel all types of
negative feelings, but it ties in with me not wanting to deal with conflict. I hate conflict. It gives me so much anxiety to deal with conflict. So to avoid that, a lot of times I will like hide my feelings and hide how I feel, because I don't want to deal with conflict. So as a people pleaser, because I don't want them to have a bad reaction, I don't want conflict, I will hide how I actually feel. That leads to another like symptom, always agreeing. I will agree with people just to avoid conflict. Sometimes it's like to make them happy, of course. I will overly agree with people. So like you can do some of the stuff in moderation, like to be nice, to be kind, you know, not even moderation. Like you should probably limit make all these things should be very, very small if you do them. But where it crosses the line of people pleasing is when you always do it because you always are catering to that other person instead of putting yourself first. And I would like to say though, avoiding conflict is kind of putting myself first, because I don't care enough about your problems to have me stress over it. So I will, to be honest, a lot of times if you make me upset or if you cross boundaries, I probably am going to distance myself from you. And you probably won't hear from me again. That's probably what's going to happen. I'll distance myself. I do it unintentionally. But in the moment, I won't say anything. I'll be all calm. I'll be all kumbaya until it's over. And then I probably won't talk to you again. Or maybe I will talk to you again. But I'll just distance myself because I don't want, one, I'm not going to tell you in the moment because I don't want conflict. And then two, yeah, like, I don't know. Like, I feel like in that instance, I'm putting myself first. But, yeah, like always agreeing with people. I do that a lot. Maybe like, and it's more than like, you know, taking someone's side. I just overly agree with people. Another symptom is a fear of being selfish. By the way, I did get these symptoms or these like facts from this website. I'm going to link it down in the description, or I'm probably going to put it here somewhere. But a lot of these things I kind of like already also kind of like guessed and kind of felt for myself. It's just nice looking up and finding something that's like, yes, this is signs and this is this. So yeah, I will definitely link that, but because no stealing. I don't steal I do everything right. Another thing is like a fear of being selfish. I don't know if I necessarily fear being selfish. I hate with a passion selfish people. And that kind of goes back to like me treating other people how I want to be treated. I think it's because I've had so many selfish people in my life that I hate it. Like I hate it. And I don't want to be caught dead being like obviously a little bit of selfishness is good, like good in moderation. But I feel like when it's the bad part of being selfish is what I'm scared of being. I don't want anyone to ever perceive me. That's another thing. I don't want anyone to ever perceive me in a negative light. So, that leads to another point I'm going to talk about a little bit later. I don't ever want to be considered in a negative light. So things like being selfish makes me like, I don't want people to perceive me. So I will do the exact opposite of being selfish. I will make a point to not be selfish in situations which can be toxic when there are times where I do need to be selfish and I do need to put myself first. Another thing is this leads to, like I said, people being on your time, but you never being on theirs. I'm always committing to other people's, like to other people, to things, to like activities. Like people be like, yo, Michaela, can you do this for me? Yo, Michaela, can you do this for me? Michaela, can we go? Let's go there. Okay, let's do this. Okay, let's do that. You busy? Come on. And I will say yes every time. So yeah, that goes with not saying no, but that also goes with I'm always committing myself to things that I don't want to do. And I don't know how to be like, yo, I really don't want to do this because I feel like a bad person. And that leads to the next point, feeling like a bad person, not wanting to be mean, always wanting to be nice. Now, like I like to say, I'm genuinely a nice person. So like I am nice. Like I'm not like fake nice. I am actually genuinely nice, but I'm also afraid of not being nice. So there are times where I don't want to be nice. It is very, very hard for me to not be nice just in general. Like that is something that is very hard for me to be, is not nice, because I've actually tried to be mean and I just end up like my brain gets jumbled and what I want to say doesn't come out right. Like I just end up, it doesn't ever turn out how I want to be when I'm trying to be mean. But I also feel like there are times where I feel like I have to be nice or else this person is going to perceive me in a way that I don't want to be perceived. And then the last symptom that I'm going to talk about is people taking advantage. It's a tough life out here. Shame on you. Shame on the people who take advantage of kind, nice, people-pleasing people. Shame. Shame on you. 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 Because you guys suck. You guys are the worst people. You guys are even worse than the people-pleasers. Actually. Take that back. Rewind. Actually, the people-pleasers are worse. Because why are you letting these people treat you like that? Am I talking to myself? I need to take my own medicine because I let people run over me. I cannot help it. Well, I can help it. I'm trying not to help it. I'm trying to be better now. But that is all of these reasons, all these symptoms above lead to people taking advantage of you. That's why I call it a disease, because the illness, the germ, the virus that's attacking you is the people who take advantage. It's like all of these symptoms are like what weaken your immune system, and then these people that are taking advantage of you are the viruses and the germs that are coming to attack you and take you out. That's how I like to describe it. There are a lot of people who take advantage of people pleasers, and people pleasers allow for that to happen, and I'm one of those people. So now I'm going to talk about the reasons why people please. And I'm going to talk about why I people please, or why I think I people please. I probably need to see a therapist and actually find out the reason why. But for now, I'm just going to talk about it, like reasonings why. The first thing is anxiety. When you, especially like if you have social anxiety or you're really like anxious around people, it can make you, I don't know, like you're already anxious in the situation, so you don't want to make things harder for yourself. And sometimes the only way to make things easier is to people please. Because if there's conflict or there's a negative interaction or people see you negatively, it can lead to you feeling even more anxious than you already are. Or if you're not feeling anxious, making you feel anxious. So trying to avoid those feelings can lead to making you want to people please. And that is something I deal with too. Like, I already, a lot of the times in social situations, I'm already anxious. I'm already going there feeling anxious. So kind of to lessen it, I will agree. I will say yes. I will people please, because I feel like that's the only way in those situations to make my anxiety a lot easier. And we already talked about this earlier, but like fear and conflict and stuff like that. Also like trauma. So childhood trauma. I don't know if you had like parents that made it seem like if you didn't do something, or if you, in order like to like earn their approval. I don't want to say like I haven't quite worked out that, like my past trauma. I gotta work that out. That's still a work in progress. But I don't know if my problem is like parents, but I know a lot of people who people please. It's gonna be because their parents, they needed to earn their approval, and so it makes them feel like they have to earn other people's approval too, in a way. I really wanted to do well in school. I really wanted to do well in everything I did. But I feel like that's normal. That's normal stuff. And then we kind of talked about this earlier, but like low self-esteem, which is a symptom, because your self-esteem is gonna get worse if you people please. It's not gonna get better. That's not how it works. It may seem, you may do it because you have low self-esteem, but that's the reason why it's also a symptom, because it's only gonna get worse. It's never gonna get better. I think I kind of explained why I do it. Yeah, I hate conflict. Like I said, I kind of always grew up with the model of treat people like you want to be treated, because there's been a lot of people treated me horribly, and those horrible people have made me kind of make a vow, always treat people with kindness. And I think I took that a little bit too hard, because yes, you need to treat people always with kindness. You need to always treat people nice. You know, always be there for people. Not always be there for people, but you know, these things are good things, but they're not good if you put them before yourself. And just one other thing that I saw was a codependency disorder, which is when you like need the opinions of others to make simple everyday decisions. Okay, I never thought of that as people pleasing, but I would like to say, don't ever ask me for a decision, because I'd be like, whatever you want, whatever you decide. But I do that because it's easier, because I don't truly know. I do see why it can be people pleasing, because sometimes I actually do that because I don't want to choose a bad option, or like I don't want to be made fun of for the option that I choose. Maybe that is something I struggle with. I didn't think of it at the moment, because sometimes it's just easier to just be like, you choose, and like I don't even have to think, because a lot of times I don't have anything in my brain to think. But I think the reason why I probably don't is also because I always say, no, you choose, no, you choose. And so that's probably to me not even trying anymore. Maybe that's what that is. I guess I just thought of that now, but we got some work to do. So if you can relate to any of this above, like I said, we got some work to do. But that doesn't mean there aren't ways to turn it around. That's what I am trying to do now. Trying to better myself, become a better version of me that puts myself first. Let myself prosper. And then the people who are meant to be are going to stick around. The people who like me for me, the people who like me no matter what, they're going to stick around. And the people who can't take no, or who can't allow me to put myself first, and maybe sometimes put them first, or like a healthy balance, are the people that don't need to be in my life. And plus, me putting myself is going to allow myself to grow, allow myself to reach my goals, to succeed. And they should benefit also from that. One, they should benefit because they should be working on themselves too. But also, if I win, we all win. And I can't win trying to make sure you win. So yeah, that's it for me. Oh, that's a horrible heart. You see? And the Grinch. All right. Peace. That was it for me. Hope you learned something.